This is the world's fastest train currently being developed. And this, the world's highest bridge. This, the world's largest airport. The world's deepest tunnel. Longest tunnel, biggest building, tallest building. Hey, my name is Luis and today we're looking at the biggest mega projects in every major category of construction. Let's start right here, in the Alps between Italy and France, and the category is tunnels. Here, they're currently building the Mont Cenis Base Tunnel. When it's done, it'll become the longest rail tunnel in the world, stretching 57.5 kilometers straight through the Alps. This type of tunnel is called a base tunnel, as it literally cuts through the base of a mountain. In the past, most routes were built in a way that would minimize the amount of tunneling. They'd weave their way down mountain passes, following slow, winding paths. Whenever a tunnel did have to be built, it would usually be near the top of a mountain, where the rock was narrower and wouldn't require as much digging. But with the help of powerful tunnel boring machines, the EU is now building base tunnels. Giant tunnels that cut straight through the base of a mountain. There's no need for lots of turns and bends. No need for slow slope upwards. A base tunnel is just a quick straight line from one end to the other. But pulling it off is a massive feat. We're not even talking about just one tunnel. Builders will need to excavate more than 160 kilometers, allowing for 2 parallel tunnels, more than 200 safety bypasses connecting them, and 4 giant ventilation shafts. So how did they do it? Engineers have identified 15 different types of ground conditions along the route. To get through it all, they use a variety of different tunnel boring machines, or TBMS. That sounds like it would just be one giant drill, but it's actually much more. The first of 7 main drilling TBMs is named Viviana. She's 10.4 meters in diameter, and her job is to cut through hard rock. She does that by using 61 cutters. All of the rubble gets moved to conveyor belts that carry it to the surface. Back in the tunnel, the TBM also lays 8 concrete curves around the newly dug out area. Together, those make a ring that serves the final tunnel lining, 50 centimeters thick and reinforced with rebar. It's a massive undertaking and a slow process. Viviana cuts through anywhere from 300 to 450 meters each month. Meanwhile, raised boring machines drill down vertically. They're in charge of digging the 4 ventilation shafts. The way they work is pretty ingenious. They start on the mountaintop and dig down 500 meters with a 40 centimeter drill bit. They keep adding extensions to that drill until it extends all the way down to the tunnel. At that point, a cutter is attached, with the blades facing up. The boring machine then starts raising the drill section by section, cutting the hole wide all the way up to the surface. Mont Cenis Base Tunnel is planned to open in 2033. It's expected to pull more than 1 million trucks off the road and cut the travel time from Lyon and Turin from about 4 hours to just under 2. And in case you were wondering, this one right here is the deepest underwater tunnel. This is the Rogfast Tunnel, currently being built to connect Randaberg and Bokken on the southwest coast in Norway. It's a full 392 meters below sea level. That's a full 100 meters deeper than the current record holder, the Ryfylke Tunnel, also in Norway. Rogfast has a double tube design and even 2 roundabouts in the middle. This will only be the second time that this has been done in an undersea tunnel. The first time was in neighboring Faroe Islands. The Rogfast roundabouts allow for traffic to break off to visit Kvitsøy, an island community with a population of just 570. And at 27 kilometers long, Rogfast will also be the longest tunnel in the world. Back above ground, and this time building vertically, let's take a look at the tallest buildings now under construction. You know this one already. The first skyscraper to pass the kilometer mark is the Jeddah Tower in Saudi Arabia. We've been talking about it for years, and in January 2025, construction finally resumed. It had been on pause for 7 years, but now it's full steam ahead and already passed the 80th floor mark. When it's done, the Jeddah Tower will stand 1008 meters tall, nearly 180 meters taller than the Burj Khalifa. At that height, wind is one of the main concerns. This mega skyscraper needs to withstand winds of over 190 kilometers per hour. And to deal with it, Jeddah Tower has the shape of 3 wings. If you look at it from above, it resembles a Y. This Y shape helps to disrupt the flow of wind. So instead of fighting the wind, the tower deflects so that it rolls away. As you can imagine, walking up and down stairs in the world's tallest building is not really an option. So Jeddah Tower will include at least 57 elevators, 7 of them double-deckers. And they're fast. They'll travel at a speed of more than 10 meters per second. As of now, Saudi Arabia plans to finish the world's next tallest skyscraper by 2028. Let's just hope it doesn't stall again. Of course, there are plenty of other noteworthy skyscrapers underway around the world. China is back on track building the 597-meter Golden Finance Tower in Tianjin. For a decade, that tower has also sat empty, holding the dubious title of the world's tallest unoccupied skyscraper. Construction finally resumed in April 2025, and it's scheduled to finish in 2027. And even the US is getting in the game, in an unexpected spot of Oklahoma City. The Legends Tower there would come in at 581 meters. Now, assuming Jeddah Tower is done by then, that height would make Legends Tower the 7th tallest building in the world and the tallest in the States. But they haven't broken ground yet. That's because in December 2024, the Federal Aviation Administration said the building was so tall it would interfere with air travel. The developer is working on adjustments, but no word yet on when construction will begin. Meanwhile, there are other ways to measure giant buildings. And if we jump back to Saudi Arabia, we'll find the largest building by volume. This is the Muqab, and I'll show you the inside of this massive futuristic building in a moment. Quick thanks to our long-term partner CyberGhost VPN for making this video even possible. I spoke about CyberGhost many times before, and you probably know how it works by now. I've been personally using it for a long time now, while working on videos at home or while traveling. It's just nice knowing that my data isn't being tracked or sold. CyberGhost has over 38 million users and an excellent rating on Trustpilot. The best thing about CyberGhost is that you can use it on up to 7 devices at the same time. I've got it on my laptop and my phone, but you could even share it with family and friends. And it also lets me watch content that might normally be blocked where I live. It's really simple to use. You either pick from over 100 countries yourself or just let it choose the best location for you. Then you just hit this button and that's it. This way all your traffic is encrypted and rerouted through their secure servers, so no one can see your activity. You also get up to 40% more content from your streaming platform and even better deals online. Right now, you can get 84% off plus 4 whole months for free. And they even have a 45-day money-back guarantee. So you can literally try it risk-free and see if you like it or not. Check them out at cyberghostvpn.com/megabuilds or use our link in the description. Okay, now let's get back to the massive Muqab. It's a 400-meter cube, making it plenty tall and incredibly spacious on each floor. Do the math and you'll end up with 64 million cubic meters of space. That's more than 4 times bigger than the current record holder, the 13.3 million cubic meter Boeing factory in Everett, Washington. A lot of the times we compare things to the Empire State Building, and the Muqab could hold more than 20 of those. It's really hard to imagine such a large building. Inside, the cube will have a huge dome covered with holographic projections. This will make the visitors feel as though they're in a different world. In 1 second, you could be at the bottom of the ocean, while in another moment you're on the surface of Mars or in a magical fantasy world. It's meant to be an immersive experience, unlike anything you've ever seen before. It was all expected to cost a total of $50 billion. Groundbreaking was in 2024, however, as of late January this year, work beyond soil excavation and piling has been suspended. They now want to reassess the project's financing and feasibility. It's an insane concept, really. A bit like the Las Vegas Sphere, just much, much bigger. Now, massive buildings only work if you can efficiently get people in and out of them. So let's take a look at some of the largest transportation projects underway around the world. Al Maktoum International Airport has been around since 2010, mostly serving cargo and a few charter flights. But the plan has always been to make it something much, much bigger. And in 2024, Dubai's Prime Minister announced a $35 billion expansion to make this the largest airport in the world. When the work is done, Al Maktoum will have a capacity for 260 million passengers and 12 million tons of cargo each year. And it'll replace Dubai International Airport entirely. It will pull off these massive numbers by making use of 5 runways and 400 gates. That's almost double its closest competitors. But the massive ambitions of Al Maktoum require a slow rollout. Phase 1 is set to be complete by 2032. At that point, the airport will be able to serve 150 million passengers, and Emirates Airlines will relocate there. 2 more phases of expansion could continue all the way into the 2050s. This is the world's fastest train line, and it's currently being built in Japan. It runs at 500 km per hour. You may have seen one of the viral videos reacting to this train over the past year. People just can't believe how fast this thing moves. So how does it work? This train floats, literally. It's called a maglev train, meaning magnetic levitation. It uses superconducting magnets that are powerful enough to suspend an entire train about 10 centimeters above the track. That means there's zero track friction to slow it down, and it also makes for a much smoother ride. Right now, you can only see this train on a 43-kilometer test track. There it once hit a top speed of 603 kilometers per hour. The project has been in the works for decades, and it will roll out in multiple phases. First connecting Tokyo with Nagoya. That leg is supposed to open in 2034. Then, by 2037, the train will reach as far as Osaka. Now, let's slow things down a bit and look at the biggest subway expansion in the world. The Grand Paris Express expands the iconic city subway all the way to the suburbs. I know, a new subway might not sound that exciting at first, but the scale of this project is pretty magnificent. 4 new lines, 200 kilometers of track and 68 new stations. Only a few new stops are being built within the city limits. The rest of the project is ring tunnels surrounding the city and connections to Paris' 2 major airports. At a cost of $41.8 billion, it's the biggest infrastructure project underway in all of Europe. The construction itself is done by tunnel boring machines, lots of them. At one point it had more than 20 TBMs operating simultaneously. That's how they plan to get all this done by 2031. The expansion of Line 14 finished first. That leg connected the system to the Orly airport and was fast-tracked to be ready for the 2024 Paris Olympics. Line 18 will be functional by the end of 2026. And Line 15 just started digging in October 2025. So how do we power all these mega projects in addition to everything else we need energy for? Let's look at some of the biggest energy projects now under construction. By far, the most powerful is China's Megaprojects hydropower station. It will be located here, deep in the eastern Himalayas. By deep, I don't just mean remote. This is literally the deepest canyon on Earth. The Yalung-Tsangpo Grand Canyon is more than 5,300 meters deep, 3 times deeper than the Grand Canyon in the American West. And that means huge potential for hydroelectric power. The dam they're building here will be the most powerful source of hydropower electricity the world has ever seen. It has a capacity of 60 gigawatts, which means it'll be able to generate as much as 300 billion kilowatt hours of electricity each year. That's more than enough to power all of the UK. All with one dam. But it's not actually what you think of when you imagine a dam. It's called a run-of-the-river dam, and it really just redirects the river instead of stopping it. So instead of a wall with a huge reservoir, this dam consists of massive pipes that reroute the river and cause it to spin turbines along the way. Megaprojects will have 4 of those pipes, each one a 20-kilometer tunnel, and 5 hydropower stations along them. The dam is located on this part of the Yalung-Tsangpo, known as the Great Bend. It's where the river makes a hairpin turn and drops more than 2,000 meters over a 50-kilometer stretch. Pretty much everything about the location will make construction difficult. The terrain is steep and unstable, and the diversion pipes need to run right through this mountain, the 27th tallest mountain in the world. And to top it off, the area is an active seismic zone. A 1950 earthquake there measured 8.6 on the Richter scale. It killed 780 people and blocked the Yalong-Tsangpo for 8 days. But so far, none of those challenges are delaying the plans. China broke ground on Medoc in July 2025, and it's expected to open in the 2030s. Oh, and by the way, the price tag is an insane $167 billion. So that's the most powerful dam under construction. And this one right here is the tallest. At 335 meters tall, it'll easily become the tallest dam in the world. That's if it's ever finished. Which is a valid question, because this dam has been in the works for 50 years. Rogun is so tall, it'll create a reservoir stretching more than 70 kilometers upstream, storing a staggering 13 billion cubic meters of water. The dam will have 6 turbines and a capacity of 3.6 gigawatts. It aims for an annual output of more than 14 billion kilowatt hours, which sounds like a lot, but remember that Medoc was 300 billion. Well, 14 billion is still enough to provide clean energy for about 10 million people. It's a project that could transform Tajikistan, one of the poorest and most isolated nations in Central Asia. And neighboring countries will benefit as well. 70% of the energy Rogun generates will be sold to Kazakhstan and Uzbekistan. And there are plenty of other interesting energy megaprojects underway around the world. For example, the world's largest offshore wind farm is currently being built in England. It's called the Dogger Bank Wind Farm. And it's actually a series of wind farms with a combined capacity of 8.1 gigawatt of power, expected to be completed in 2027. And over in China again, Jinqimen nuclear power plant started construction back in August 2025. It will hold 6 nuclear power reactors, creating a combined capacity of 7.2 gigawatts. This makes it the most powerful nuclear power plant currently under construction anywhere in the world. And once finished, it'll be in the top 4 most powerful worldwide. Finally, let's return to Europe as we look at bridges. This is the Strait of Messina, and the site of a new bridge that will be the longest and tallest suspension bridge in the world. We've talked about this bridge before, and we're still waiting to see if it actually happens. If it does, it will span a full 3.3 kilometers, with the pylons on each end standing over 399 meters tall. That means it will literally be the tallest structure in all of Italy. The $15.6 billion bridge will carry 6 lanes of road traffic and 2 railway tracks, directly connecting Sicily to mainland Italy and the rest of Europe for the first time in 20,000 years. It's an idea that has been around since ancient Roman times, but there are plenty of challenges in getting it built. This area is notorious for high winds and earthquakes. You see, the bridge doesn't just span a waterway, it also spans tectonic plates. That's why engineers want to use flexible materials so the bridge can endure earthquakes up to a 7.1 on the Richter scale. Plans were approved for construction in summer 2025, but in October, Italy's Court of Auditors ruled against the plan. The government is now working on revisions and hopes to start construction by 2027. But if Messina fails to break ground, we've got another record-breaking bridge underway. This is the Chantsingao Yangtze River Bridge. It is very much under construction and slated to open in 2028. Its central span will be 2.3 kilometers long, and its towers will come in at 350 meters tall, making it the longest suspension bridge and the tallest suspension bridge tower currently under construction anywhere in the world. So, which of these record-breaking megaprojects are you most excited about? Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. And if you want to try CyberGhost VPN, use our link for 84% off and 4 whole months for free. You can use CyberGhost on up to 7 devices at the same time and share it with family and friends. Thank you so much for watching, and as always, we'll see you in the next one.